There's 3 keys to a successful business. And I mentioned that I had no experience in any of this before I started this. And we started with bubble tea, like just a few things on the menu and macarons, and we built it to like what we have today. It's a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. It's not the end of the world. If they're willing to learn from those mistakes, that's all that matters, and that's what's important. All the workers that I have now, I do truly trust.
Today we are at Vessel Tea. This is in Annandale, Virginia. They sell bubble tea and a bunch of other products. What's cool today is that we're meeting Sarah Choi. She is a business owner who didn't go to school for business school. She went to school to become a journalist, but over time she decided to start her own business with the help of her family. We're gonna hear about her story, her upcoming, and to get real about where she is right now in her business. So. Yeah, so thanks for inviting us to your store.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah, you know, just coming in and just hearing a little bit about your story before we even ran the camera, you didn't actually even think you were going to be a business owner at first, right?
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, what were you going to school for?
I went to school for communications. I specialized in public relations. I did try to go down the journalism route, but I just quickly pivoted very close to the end. And I did PR, and eventually I graduated during COVID, so it was hard for me to find a job, and I somehow landed a job in marketing and advertising.
Yeah, so what type of businesses was your family doing growing up?
My grandma had a few bars in the area, so my uncles and my dad worked at that. I think, like, I remember hearing stories that my mom worked at a few of the bars too, and then we had a few of, like, at the time, Asian things were just not like in the norm what it is now. And my grandma and my dad had like a Korean like convenience store, but it like sold like Korean items, like Korean foods. Like my dad would make the dishes. I just wanted to be like a good like neighborhood mom and pop shop, and that's what we're looking for. I think like in like a huge shopping center that has so much, it's a little difficult.
Yeah, we mentioned that because, you know, with the ice cream shop, we also interviewed an ice cream store, and he was next to a place where people would actually eat their meal, and he was thinking the same thing. Like, hey, they'll eat there, and then they'll come and get some ice cream there, and it will complement each other. So have you noticed that people will go to the Korean chicken place and eat there and then come over there?
They do, and it's a big like to-go location. So they'll come into my store with their bag of chicken and like grab their dessert or their bubble tea, sweet treat on the way home. So it's very common,
Okay. That's good. So like businesses can actually help each other. You don't necessarily have to see each other as competition. You can kind of correlate
and everybody, all of us in this small little Willow Run, we have great relationships with one another, and we like can acknowledge that like building our own business is helping each other, our neighbors, and like that's the mentality that we do it in, which I'm very grateful to have neighbors like that.
And like starting this store, Vessel Tea, obviously the tea part is because you have bubble tea on the menu. You told me a little bit that it wasn't necessarily because, you know, your family grew up drinking bubble tea. It was more so that around the time when you started, it was a very popular item. Is that right?
Yeah, it was. It originally started because my younger sister's very skilled in macarons, like a French style of macarons. It's hard to build a business plan on just like one item. And at the time, like where I was located in Woodbridge, there was just not many bubble tea stores in the area. And our first location was inside of a food hall, and there was a need for like a dessert location in that food hall. So it was just a great spot to do like drinks. Easy on the way out or like on the way in with your other food that you're going in there to eat. And we started with bubble tea, like just a few things on the menu and macarons, and we built it to like what we have today. Now I can't even say like there's tea in our name, but it's hard to just say that like we only sell bubble tea because we do a lot of coffee.
I see that.
Yeah, a lot of desserts. Our banana pudding is actually like famous that everybody. So yeah, we have a lot of things on our menu.
When you put this all together, I'm guessing it was like a group thing between you, your father, your family to kind of decide where everything will go. With the space that you have, do you feel like this is a good amount of space to kind of put everything and work efficiently during your day?
Yeah, it took a lot of Tetrising to get it to the point that it was, and I think sometimes I'll still switch it up a little bit here and there depending on my mood. I'll like move the blender a little bit more back to create a little bit more counter space. It just all depends on the day. It was a lot of like collaborative like discussion on how to set everything up, but it was just a lot of, we needed to quickly open and we had to do construction, and what was the fastest way without like actually disrupting like the blueprint of the what was already here previously, as far as like piping and all that kind of stuff, how to not disturb that. And then we kind of worked around how to position X, Y, and Z. It's a lot of like the method of how the order starts at the register,
right?
And like the first step of a drink is a topping, so boba, and the boba's right next to the register. The cups are right next to the register, and then the drink is right after that, and the final portion is ice. So it's like it's a method of the start, middle, and then the end, and then you would come back to the start because the counter to get the drink is right out front as well. So that's how we kind of like positioned everything.
So if somebody comes in, you had to put this here, right? This is what you wanted because you want front and center the customer here.
Yes.
And then picking out the actual system here. With the iPad, was this recommended to you? Can you tell us a little bit about the different things, technical side of what you picked?
We used the POS system that when we bought this location came with the store. I used another POS system. There's pros and cons to all of them. There's not one POS system that has everything so amazing, which is kind of annoying. But like I mentioned, like I give everybody a try. I was not very happy with the POS system that we were before using. So I was shopping around for another POS system. The sales agent for this POS just happened to come into the store. I looked into it. I did like research on it, and it seemed great. So I like give it. I give everything a try. So we give it a try. And thus far, it is really great. It's very sleek and like clean looking, which I like. I don't like too many like components, like too bulky. It's a lot of like customization as well, where we could put like our touch to it. I think like the display screen, it's just our logo as well, and it's I like customizing a lot of things. The loyalty program was very important to me. Before I used like loyalty cards that I made, but customers lose that, and I don't want them to like lose out on the loyalty aspect of it. So, like a digital like a method of a loyalty system was really important. So I was looking for a POS system that could track the sales in that sense, where a customer could redeem their points and like get a free drink when they came to the point where they could redeem. So that was really important.
And you have two tablets, right? So this one's to go?
These are like third-party delivery services, like DoorDash and Uber Eats.
Oh, those are the two apps that you use, DoorDash and Uber Eats. And the guy just walks in here, and he tried to sell you on it, and you decided to try his product?
Yeah, I did.
And that's it?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, the POS,
That's awesome.
And a lot of sales people come in to sell their POS, just like those in the area.
Yeah.
He just happened to be one of the first few people to come in, and it was like a few, I guess like around the fall time when businesses started like slowing down a bit is when the sales agents go out, and I had like a few in hand, and I just did my research, and this one seemed like the best fit for me, so.
Yeah, it's easy. I guess people tap to pay, and can they see their order and like everything that they've written down and everything?
Yeah, you can. I think like on the screen you can put your phone number in if you want to join the loyalty program. It shows like every little addition. Like if you want a medium, large, it shows like every step of the ordering process. And it's quick and easy. If you want to like insert your card, you can insert it. If you want to tap, which everybody has tap nowadays, so that's really convenient, and it's like not very bulky. It's very like condensed and like straight to the point, which I really liked.
And then your data month by month to see, hey, what's the revenue? Are we reaching targets? All that's in there as well, right?
It is. As like the merchant side, our like merchant portal has all of that, and that's what we like use to like track everything.
What is the most popular flavor here?
Brown sugar milk tea is really popular. That's probably like one of my best sellers. The drink looks really pretty too, so that's why a lot of people like it. Strawberry coconut milk tea is like a popular drink in our location. I think like coconut does really well here.
So back here, this is another section here. This is where you make your bubble tea?
Yes. All of our syrups are down here. Our powders are up here, and like the hot teas. We curated a lot of the brands that we use. Like there's a lot of very common bubble tea brands that like distributors carry. My cousin owns a distribution company in Chicago, and when we were first opening this, I had to like get on like the most last minute flight that you could possibly get, and I flew to Chicago to his distribution center to try literally every single bubble tea product that is on the market to like curate it. to what I like. So I didn't want to stick with just everything one brand. The powders were only going to use this brand, the syrups were only going to use this brand, sugars were only going to use that brand. I wanted to try every single one. I know like which product is which brand, but I pride myself in that like the brands that we chose to use, nowhere in the Northern Virginia area, the distributors in this area don't carry the products that I use. So I can't use like a local distributor because they don't carry the products that we use.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say that we're like probably the only location that uses like, you can't go next door to another bubble tea or cafe and taste the same drink, where everybody in the area happens to use the same distributor. So they're all using some variation of similar products. We just don't, because we go to our distributor in Chicago.
Yeah, so you stay unique. I mean, when people try your drinks, it's completely different from other drinks. Like, I actually really like this. I personally like the texture of having
boba?
that boba. Like, it's like you drink something and then you have a little thing to eat at the end. So that's good. But kind of when you decide to put this together, I guess the main thing, almost like when you're a bartender, you want everything to be close by to be efficient, right? To make a drink under a certain amount of time.
Yes.
So is that a big reason why you didn't want a location that was like too big? Because then you're walking this far and walking that far to make the same drink.
Yes, that was very big. I'm sure online things can say otherwise. I think for me to make one drink, after ordering is finished, to like every single step after the order is finished and the customer pays and it's done, it should literally take you maybe 10 seconds to make one drink. If you're good at that point. And yes, obviously some variations can come into play that could elongate that time, but a very traditional, like a brown sugar milk tea, is very simple, quick, and easy, and it should max maybe take you 20 seconds. But it's a very quick, like, a lot of customers say, oh, that was quick. And I'm like, yeah, it is supposed to be really quick. When you go somewhere, especially like just a regular like coffee shop, and it takes like, even me as a consumer, if it takes like 10, 15 minutes to get one coffee, they're not doing something correct. Like whether it's the layout, whatever goes into them making that, if it takes you even more than 5 minutes to like receive a drink, especially at like a cafe, something is not right there. So I think, it took a lot for us to come up with like the efficiency to make it quick and easy, and like a very quick turnaround for the customer as well, so that they can get their drink as fresh as possible as well. Coffee is a little bit different because it's like a craft. You're crafting, and like you have to, the brewing, the espresso takes a while. The teas are like, the hot teas are like freshly brewed, but coffee is just, there's like different components to it. Matcha takes even longer than a bubble tea would, because the temperature of the water needs to be very specific. Everything needs to be like weighed out specifically. So depending on the drink, there is like different components that can go into like how long it takes to make one drink, but they should all still be very relatively quick. I will say that out of everything, matcha probably takes the longest to make. And we warn the customers too, like matcha is like a very like intricate craft, so it's going to be maybe an extra 1-2 minutes, and they're like, people who drink matcha know that it shouldn't be like a very quick turnaround like a bubble tea will. So
and the difference between like a cafe, coffee, somebody might drink on a daily basis, right? So when you decided like, okay, I also do want to do coffee. Do your customers who are coming here for coffee, are they more so regulars because it's like a daily thing compared to bubble tea?
I will say that like a lot of, I think maybe 80% of my clients are all regulars. There is that like small percentage of like, oh, like I saw you online. Like when I started matcha, those like videos and like coffee too, at one point it was like semi-viral, but the cookie butter latte like blew up. And like people were coming in specifically, oh, I saw this online. And we have mango sticky rice matcha. I believe, I could be incorrect, but especially in this area, we're probably the only location that has a mango sticky rice matcha, and it actually tastes like the actual Thai dessert.
Okay. And how much does it cost to like buy a machine like this?
Oh, this one was expensive. I think this is a very common one. I believe it was like maybe 15,000. Yeah, the investment cost in like a great espresso machine is very high. But if you keep up with it and like you actually know how to work the espresso machine, like maintenance wise, it shouldn't be too much. Like there's things that you can do every day on a day. It is a lot of work and a lot of steps, especially the opening and closing. But it's such a large money investment. So in order to like keep it for as long as you possibly can. There are steps that you can take.
But some of your big machine, obviously this is the most expensive by far, I would think. How much does this one cost?
I think this is around like 20-30,000 as well. This is originally a deli meat fridge.
So you picked this location, obviously, and you know, you had a few different that you can pick from. You already mentioned like the corner unit and having that light come in was a big factor. But what were some of the other factors of why you decided that, hey, this might be a good spot for you to be at?
I wanted somewhere that had like food locations established already. So there's like some sort of like foot traffic already established, and it's like, oh, like I came here for X, Y, and Z dinner on the way home. Let me pick up a sweet treat on the way. That was really important to me as well, because that's how like I built the business at our first location, navigating how to run a business like this. And
I mean, you had a great opportunity being able to be in advertisement, marketing. You mentioned, you know, off camera that you were actually making good money during that role, and it was remote. From home. So you're working a remote position, it's comfortable, good money. I'm guessing, you know, you could even travel sometime.
I did, actually.
It must have been a really big decision to leave that, to come into this at a young age, women-owned business. Like, can you just mention what got you to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go all in to this?
I don't think it was like a behavioral issue. I didn't grow up like having behavioral issues. I was just very outgoing. And I like protruded a lot of like leadership attributes growing up. And I think just something about that, it's not that, I'm sure all my other like past career work experience, supervisors and bosses and managers will say that I am a great worker, but I personally had a hard time working under people. I think that's what ignited all of it, where I like certain things done a very specific way, and there's like a method to the madness. But I think that's what started within me, that I felt like if I could work really hard, and me working really hard is basically making the CEO rich. Why not I work really hard for myself and not necessarily make myself rich, but maybe like my hard work can like gain some sort of profit, not just monetary value wise, but whether it's like I become like a pinnacle pillar in my community, or like a spot where just my hard work, I could reap the benefits in whatever capacity that I deemed fit at the time. And I think I have done that. I will say that I work very hard, and it's very rewarding working the type of job that I work. And I think that like aspect of it was hard for me to work under somebody ignited something for me to just work really hard for myself.
Some people would decide like if they're going to start their own business, like keep my job, start the business. I don't want to completely give up my income. I'm going to hire employees. You decided the other way of I'm going to leave my you know, this job that's paying me all this money, and I'm going to effectively be the manager / owner of my own location. Was there ever a part of you that was like, maybe I should just keep my job and start this on the side? Or
I did actually think of doing that. But like I said, my dad has been an entrepreneur almost his whole life. And I mentioned that I had no experience in any of this before I started this. My wisdom on how to grow this business is from my dad. And I think the conversations that I would have with my dad, it's when you typically work in your job, you should traditionally, you give it your all. But if I was employed elsewhere and did this as like a side thing, then my all would have to be split up. So whether you like it or not, and I'm sure some people can juggle like multiple streams of revenue, I just felt like if I had like, whether this was my full-time and another job was my part-time or vice versa, one aspect would feel neglected in some type of way, and I didn't feel like it was right for another employer to feel some sort of negligence on my end because I was like, this was my priority. So because of that, I just didn't think to do that, and luckily I have a husband who supports me very well now, and I'm grateful to be in the position that I am, where I am trying to work to achieving my dream, and my husband like provides in the ways that he can so that I can work towards achieving my dream. So
yeah. So the T and the cross, right? What does that symbolize?
Yeah, we were taking a pun on the name, like we were selling bubble tea, so we made the name Vessel Tea, but how to add a little bit of Jesus into it. And the T, we just, instead of a capital T, we added into a cross. And if you know that it's a cross, but some people just don't. It like slips over their head. But yeah, the T in the is a cross. Yeah.
What would you say the square footage is for a space like this?
Yeah,
And then how much does it cost on a monthly basis?
Yeah, we're in about 900 square feet. And as far as like all our bills, like everything, rent, utilities, just everything that entails, it's about like every month, give or take maybe 6 to 8 thousand, depending on like how much heater you're running, how much air conditioning you're running, like how often you're opening and closing the fridge. Like just there's small factors that go into it, so it ranges, and I guess it's like a little bit of a bigger range, but it just really depends.
Okay, so when it's hotter like this, the utility bills will increase a little bit?
Yeah, a lot, because people are like going in and out so often as well, so trying to like keep it like temperature regulated and comfortable. Yeah, it does range a lot.
And for bubble tea, matcha, coffee, is July, August usually like slower period of time, or is this seasonality a busier period of time during the season?
Yeah, we try to keep it so that customers can come in regardless of the temperature. During the summer times, the summer times are a little bit more busier than I would say like the fall winter times. Because it's so hot outside and you want like a refreshing drink, and like every and any refreshing drink idea that you possibly have, like I can accommodate or we currently have. But as far as like the winter times, we do hot boba. We have hot teas, we have hot coffee. So I wouldn't say that it's a little bit slower. I think like foot traffic wise, yes, you would think that in the wintertime, because it's cold outside, not many people will want to go out as much as like the versus the summertime. But we try to have a variety of things so that doesn't hinder anybody who needs like a sweet treat or like a quick caffeine fix.
Okay. Yeah. And the products that you have here, do you, like when you were trying to pick of where you source them or anything like that, can you let us know, is it from somewhere around here that they bring the products in?
Yeah, no, we don't sell anything that we buy. We bake and make every single thing in-house.
Oh yeah.
I am such a consumer myself. I loved in college and like post-grad, part of one of my hobbies was to try different restaurants with my best friend back when we were both single. We were like, let's go try that, let's go try this. So I currently still am like a very big consumer, not only for like, let's see what that place has, but I genuinely enjoy going to a coffee shop, finding a new place that has like really good products. Because I was such a big consumer beforehand, I feel like, and a lot of people in this area could say, their taste buds are very spoiled. So I don't sell anything that I wouldn't eat myself. I wouldn't drink myself. I wouldn't consume myself. So I don't want to sell something that you can go down the street and they have the same distributor and you could buy the same product. I make everything. My younger sister still to this very day bakes all the macarons in-house. We've like curated it so that there's a lot of places that have macarons. Unfortunately, it's just like a really popular thing. We curated it to the point that even the filling, I don't want anybody to have something similar as us. Macarons are like a very, very expensive dessert to make because of the technique and just like the experience that goes into making like a perfect macaron. Because of how expensive the dessert is, like the expertise needing to make this dessert, a lot of certain things are affected. As far as like the product, you can charge a lot for it, but how can you save a little bit? And that's making some sort of buttercream filling. And I don't like the idea of like biting into a macaron and feeling like I'm biting into cold sugary butter. I don't like that. Like literally a block of butter. That's what a lot of places I feel like it is, but all of our fillings are very like gourmet fillings. We do certain ones depending on the flavor, the filling style is a little bit different, but yeah, down to the small little tea. When you work here all day, every day, and like you're so invested into it, and my family is so invested into it, like we'll try our products very often and be like, oh, like maybe we'll try this, maybe we'll try that, and like get a lot of people around us to give our products a try before we're like, yeah, this is it, this is great. And yeah, that's how I try to like differentiate from other places in the area.
Okay, so you chose not to compromise, and obviously that means that your costs are also going to go up, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to get the best ingredients, fresh. You seem like you're a foodie. You like to try different things yourself, so you wanted to just keep it at that level. But with extra costs, do you just feel like if you had better quality, people were just going to reinvest in you by buying the product, by coming back? Do you feel like now that you've done it, it's worth it? Like all these years?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yes, there's compromise in that because the products that we use, like the ingredients we use, are much more higher quality versus like a distributor that makes it all like factory wise and like we buy it like that. But we save on the cost in some type of way because I'm making it. Like my younger sister makes it. Our hands are making what we sell, so we're not selling products at a marked up price because the distributors need to make some sort of revenue as well. So they price it in a way where they can make a profit, but the places that buy those products mark it up even more in order to make a profit. But our hands are we're making it. Like we eat what we sell as well. Like if I go to some social gathering, I'll take my items because it's my hand making it, and there's compromise, give or take in certain aspect, pros and cons to all of them as well. It's a lot of being on your feet all day long, baking every other day, every single day type of thing. So there's pros and cons, but I don't think that I would ever go to selling products that we don't make. I would not want to buy from there if I knew that they're buying it from a distributor.
Well, what are some of like the most popular items here?
Yeah, our macarons are so popular, and I eat the macarons the most too because my younger sister makes them. And sometimes when you're making it every single day, I don't like eating the items that I personally make. But I don't make the macarons, so I'll definitely indulge in the macarons often. Our banana pudding, some will say that it's world famous. One of my best friends actually helped me create this menu. Like I learned from her how to make the banana pudding, so all the credit goes to her for the banana pudding. But yeah, she taught me how to make the banana pudding, and customers say to me that they like grew up in the South and it tastes like the Southern, like my grandma's banana pudding. Wow. I'm not from the South and I didn't grow up in the South, but I will also indulge in the banana pudding. I take it to a lot of functions as well because it's great as like a big gathering, like dessert as well. We do a lot of catering orders also for the banana pudding. Our cookie butter pie is probably the next best seller. Yeah.
So what kind of partnerships have you done in this area, like events, or have you working with schools or anything like that? Or
we work with TJ often, multiple times a year. I would often do their like football games, like home football games. They'll order like X amount of drinks and they'll sell it at their concession stands. I did like fundraiser events at TJ as well. I think there was like some sort of like school-wide like bring something and sell it type of thing, and they asked us to sponsor a table, and we did that, and we sold a lot of drinks there. I work with TJ a lot. I sponsor Annandale High School for sports as well. I think like I don't specifically work with the hospitals in the area, but I think one person may have ordered from here, like, oh, like let's get vessel tea today, and then it'll get like the whole unit to order from us, and those are really helpful, and like I feel very grateful when they do that. That happens at least like minimum at once a week from different hospitals. They'll order like 20-30 drinks, and everybody will do like a group order, and they'll do that.
So the school, TJ, you talking about Thomas Jefferson?
Yeah.
High school?
Yes.
They will order a specific amount of quantity?
Yeah.
So that payment structure is that you get paid regardless if they sell it or not? Are they trying to resell, or are they just trying to give it out?
They are reselling it. I can sell it to them for a discounted price because it's just a school right next to us. A lot of my workers are from TJ as well, the employees. So it's just helping them out, and like it's like a brand marketing opportunity that I have to just get my name out there. It's literally right around the corner. So I believe they're selling it. I sell it to them for a lower price. They've told me that how much they order is never enough. So like last minute, because they're right around the corner, like, can I have like 50 more of this? And like we'll quickly like get that ready, and because they're right around the corner, they'll come and pick it up in like 10 minutes, and we could get that flipped really quick like that. So yeah, that's how we do it.
That's awesome, because your business doesn't always have to just come through customers, but like corporate partners are some of the best because they have money and they're consistent, they can pay and everything. So any other events, or do you have anything lined up in the future like you believe could kind of help scale things outside of just your regular customer base?
I'm open to all opportunities. I give everything a try. I give everybody a chance, type of thing. So I'm not closed off to anything. It's hard for me to go out of my way to try to look for those events because I do work so much. But when it's like very consistently, I've worked with TJ for the past 2 years that I've been here. As far as like hospitals, like they are doing that on their own end. Which I'm very grateful for, but I'm not closed off to any opportunities. Like I'm willing to give it a try for everything and anything.
And the leadership part, right? Like learning how to be a good leader with any type of employee that you bring in, or trying to delegate certain things. Things happen. I've been a manager myself. People can show up late. People cannot work as hard as you do. I mean, no one's gonna love it as much as you do.
Of course.
So just being a woman, not coming from necessarily this field in the past, was it tough to try to like put your foot down, be a leader, be assertive? Have you kind of grown into that, or were you always a good leader kind of as you were aged?
I will say that like not trying to be cocky, but I will say that I always did put myself out there in that way. But it didn't take anything away from how difficult it was. Yes, you're absolutely right. Nobody's gonna love this business as me. And that's unfortunate, but that's the beauty of it. My dad has like tattooed in my brain. There's 3 keys to a successful business. Some people could debate that, but it's quality products, great work environment, and customer service, like how you treat your customers when they come into your establishment. I could sound a little cocky saying this. I have great products and I stand by my products. It took even just one drink. Taro milk tea is one of like the most commonly known bubble tea. It probably took my younger sister and I 8 months to develop the taste of a taro milk tea that I would go out and buy because it's so common, but that's how much we invested to every single drink we have. So as far as quality products, I stand by the products that we sell. I would not sell anything that I wouldn't consume and put into my body myself. The work environment, I was a worker. I worked under Korean people. I worked under so many people. I started working since I was 15 years old. So I've had a lot of jobs in my life. I know what it feels like to be a worker. And I don't ever want to create a work environment that I once worked in. Like the toxic, authoritative, like what I say is law, like you do what I say. And if not, like you're done. Like, that's such a hard work environment where especially in like a cafe bubble tea store, I don't want any of my workers to feel like stressed coming into work. Like I let my workers do their homework because a lot of them are students. I'm very laid back, but obviously get your work done. I think it's like a very common phrase where a lot of people say like we need to find good workers, we need to find good workers. But another thing that my dad has instilled into me is you don't find good workers, you build good workers. And I think that's a hard thing to grasp. Like, what do you mean you build good workers? But nobody is going to step into your establishment just like so amazing, like they do everything how I would do it. Nobody will because I'm the owner. They're not the owner. But truly, like building those workers, like one step at a time, I am reaping those benefits. Like all my workers, I trust them with my business, and you have to a certain level if you want some sort of like normalcy, like normal life. Like I have a normal social life, not normal as other people, but you need to instill some of that responsibility and trust into the workers that you use. And it wasn't like that in the beginning. It definitely wasn't. But all the workers that I have now, I do truly trust. And I did build them to be able to trust them to the extent that I do. But yeah, it is hard. But I just, even like the first time one of my workers at my first location stole from me. I saw it on the cameras.
Oh my
How do I have this
gosh,
conversation? Like it's so hard because at the time I was only 25 years old and they're only like a little bit younger than me. So it's like hard to have those kind of hard conversations with like just any individual, no matter what the age gap or how old you are. But you have to. It's part of my job description. I have to manage the workers that we employ. But at the end of the day, at that age, there's nothing that is that detrimental. Like you can't steal enough from a business that will be so detrimental to like impact them as like a human. I like if they steal, okay, like obviously please don't do that again, or there's gonna be X, Y, and Z consequences. That's like natural and traditional and like the proper procedure on how to like deal with those kind of issues. But there's nothing that anybody, I just, that's how I believe. There's not, especially in my business, there's nothing that any of the workers could do that I'm like, you're the worst person ever. Like, how could you do, like, it's not that serious. And they're kids, they're learning as well. So I pride myself in now being able to have those hard conversations. But I have great workers. I really do. Like none of my workers ever has given me like a heartache like that, especially in like the most recent past. But yeah, you have to build them. It's hard, but that's part of the job, being a business owner.
And that girl who did, that woman who did steal, she's still working with you at that point?
No, it was at my first location.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not, I don't have turnaround because I have a toxic work environment. I have a turnaround because they work with me for so long that they age out. They have to go to college. They have to get a real job. So like it's never like, I don't have a turnaround rate because it's like Sarah's like the worst person ever. Like working under her is like horrible. It's never that. It's always that they age out. And like even that individual that did that, she worked with me until I had to like leave that first location and come to here. And even when I first opened here, she helped open like the beginning before I could find other workers. It's a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. It's not the end of the world. If they're willing to learn from those mistakes, that's all that matters, and that's what's important.
So how many years are you here so far, and how many years left on your current lease?
So I've been here a year, like lease-wise. We've been, January will be our third year.
Okay.
So our first lease is up. We just re-signed for our second term. So we'll be here for another 5 years.
Oh, nice. So you started with 3 and then 5 additional?
Yep.
A lot of companies we talk to, the minimum's at least 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Right? So why did you decide to do that shorter lease in the beginning? Was it hard to negotiate, or did you just feel like you didn't want to take any unnecessary risk?
No, we took over an assignment. So there was already a business already here. And they still had time left on their existing lease, and that's what we bought. So there was 3 years left on that, and the next term for us was going to be our lease, like which is without taking over an assignment. And so that was 5 years, and we decided to just do the max. And
I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't even know that you could take over a lease or anything like that.
Yeah. When you, a lot of locations do that. Like, it's not that they are finished with their lease.
Yeah.
That's why they are selling the space. It's whatever reason that they may have. It's whether they have so many locations and they want to like
bring it down a little bit.
Consolidate their business.
Yeah.
That could be a reason, whatever the reason is, and whatever decision they come to. There is options to sell the lease. It's basically you're selling your lease, not the business. So we didn't buy the building. We bought the existing lease, and that's what we basically
So like
did.
subleasing. So a business can do a 10-year lease or a 5-year lease. They're a newer company. They don't really know if they're going to make it. And then do you just try to make sure in the contract, because I'm sure there are some contracts where maybe they don't let you take over. You just try to make sure in your contract that you are able to do that?
Yep, of course, that always has to be an option available for whatever life throws your way. There is places who will sublease it out like that too, but having that option available that we could sell our lease if we ever came to the decision to, but we don't plan on doing that, so that's why we did a longer lease term. So
nice. 5 more years of being able to. Now, when you did the 5, you re-upped. Did it come with new terms, similar, amounts?
Our property management's amazing. Our even just our rent alone is, I believe, 40% under market value.
Okay.
So I don't want to leave that. That's like it. They were amazing to work with us and give us like what the terms. Like we were very content and happy with the terms when we bought this lease. So we didn't change anything. It was just a matter of changing the lease term, and that's all we did. And it was just a quick re-signing, and we're very happy with the property management.
And for the future of the business, you mentioned a potential second location. Are you already starting like slowly look into that, or what are your ideas?
Yeah, we are. No definite spot yet, but we're definitely looking. There's a few potential spaces that we're looking at. It's just a matter of like building it out to what we want it to be. Like we had to build this place out. We had to build like a full service kitchen. So that takes quite a while, and it doesn't happen just overnight, but we are, my goal is 4 locations. So the second one soon, hopefully soon.
And the next one, because obviously your dad helped you with this one.
Yeah.
The next one, would you finance or take out a loan potentially? Or?
No, we don't really believe in that. It's if you don't have the cash flow, you shouldn't be opening a second location.
Oh,
so
nice.
that cash flow is important because if you were to take a loan out, then you don't know what could happen in life, and you never know. So that big financial burden is just not how we choose to do our business. So the cash flow is very important for us to have the capital within the business and the money and the revenue coming in order for us to find a second location. So that's very big for us.
That's a cool way to think about it. So if you have the money, you do it. If you don't, then just hold off on that idea and wait and keep building until you have it. Yeah, so where can people find you if they're looking for you?
Yeah, everything is at Vessel Tea, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything's at Vessel Tea.
Nice. So you guys are ever in town, the Annandale area, just come to Will Run Center and, get some one of these great teas. Thank you so much.
Thank you.